Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, what Governor Hochul is calling record investments in New York's public safety.
And why a new task force will begin reviewing the names of campus buildings.
Plus, why SUNY Oswego's officer in charge is asking the community to wear green and red this Friday.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Jolie Santiago.
And I'm Logan Stolberg.
Continuing coverage on a story we first told you about on Monday night, SUNY Oswego's officer in charge, Dr. Mary Toll, is asking the Oswego community to consider wearing green and red this Friday instead of the traditional green and gold. The colors are meant to support Fulton and G. Ray Bodley High School as the community mourns the loss of one of their students, 17-year-old Riley Bartlett.
Bartlett was in a fatal car crash Sunday. Her boyfriend, 16-year-old Brady Niver, was a passenger in the vehicle, is currently in critical condition. Bartlett was an honor student and played on the varsity girls lacrosse team. Authorities say the accident is still under investigation.
SUNY Oswego's end-of-the-year party for students is this Friday, May 5th. Ozfest starts at noon on the lawn and parking lot between Marano Campus Center and Lake Ontario. There will be food trucks, games, and a barbecue at 4 p.m. Then the arena will host performers Oxcord Wars and headliner Party Next Door for a concert at 7:45 p.m. Afterwards, all students are welcome for late-night breakfast at Cooper. Ozfest is sponsored by the Student Association Programming Board.
SUNY Oswego's faculty Assembly has approved a task force to review the renaming Native American names of all campus buildings, roads, and fields.
WTOP-10's Rocio Trasancos explains what this discussion is about and what feedback has been like from the campus community.
A task force proposed by Michael Chanes, the Director of Native American Studies at SUNY Oswego, has formed within the campus faculty assembly. Chanes declined an interview to Oswego Now, but told the Oswegonian that, quote, "My goal is to make our campus a more broad-minded space to fulfill the goals of the grand challenges of race, racism, and social justice. A 3-year program that's going on at SUNY Oswego to discuss diversity and societal issues and to make all of our campus buildings and facilities safe for Native students, Native faculty, and Native staff." Wayne Westervelt, Chief Communication Officer at SUNY Oswego, said, quote, "At the current time, the SUNY Oswego community is exploring the matter in a positive, productive, and collaborative way as we seek a greater understanding of the history behind the naming of some of our residence halls and other campus structures. We're doing this out of respect to the indigenous people on whose ancestral land SUNY Oswego now stands. The Oswego community may have different opinions about changing Native American names on campus and whether it is a good idea or not. I went to the West Side Residence Halls and the Iroquois Trail in Glimmerglass behind me, and I didn't find any information about their names or about indigenous people."
I think that there has to be some sort of recognition of those groups when you enter those halls, right? I mean, not just the names, Seneca Hall, but you have an explanation in some sort of marker, placard, which explains what all of that means.
According to the proposal, when the task force presents its final report, the faculty assembly may present their recommendations and ask the Office of the President to bring these suggestions to the College Council, which will decide if the buildings and structures on campus will be renamed. They are also responsible for choosing new names. Rocio Trasancos reporting, Oswego Now.
According to the reporting by the Oswegonian, the task force will exist through the spring of 2024.
Throughout this period, the members will conduct research, meet with Oswego community, create educational campaigns, and produce the next steps to the College Council.
Former Fulton Junior High School teaching assistant is being charged at the federal level for child pornography charges. The 37-year-old Joshua J. Demers was arrested at his home in Fulton on Sunday, March 19th, after state police found graphic images on his cell phone and computer. State police have charged Demers with 3 felonies. Demers appeared before a magistrate judge yesterday and will have to appear for a detention hearing this Friday, May 5th.
2 Syracuse residents are being charged for their purchase of 50 guns from Georgia. Onondaga County District Attorney William Fitzpatrick says 32-year-old Julius Anderson and 35-year-old Veronica Williams have been arrested and indicted on gun trafficking charges. The two are being held at the Onondaga County Justice Center jail on $1 million bail. There is a third person awaiting charges.
New York is banning natural gas and other fossil fuels in most new buildings. Governor Kathy Hochul and state lawmakers approved the $229 billion state building or budget, which contains the provision the law requires all electric heating and cooking in new buildings shorter than 7 stories by 2026, for taller buildings by the deadline on 2029. There are exceptions for the large commercial and industrial buildings like stories, hospitals, and restaurants. This makes New York the first state to do so.
Governor Kathy Hochul is also announcing what she calls record investments in public safety. She says the $772 million initiative is part of her proposed state budget. It includes money for gun violence, prevention, and prosecution and defense funding.
So we're investing $70 million for communities to deal with the aftermath of gun violence, to help lift them up, to give them a purpose, help deal with problems that are specific to their neighborhoods.
A 19-year-old white male is serving a life sentencing for murdering 10 people in that grocery store last year.
British musician Ed Sheeran arrived at New York City Courthouse this morning, where the copyright trial between Sheeran and the heirs of Ed Townsend continues. The plaintiffs say Megahit Thinking Out Loud copied the Marvin Gaye classic Let's Get On It, which was co-written by Townsend. Their defense wrapped its case today. After closing arguments, the jury will begin deliberations.
Here in Oswego, we've had a rainy past few days.
Storm Team 10 meteorologist Lily Zent joins us in the studio to tell us if we can expect the rain to continue. Lily?
So we might expect more rain tomorrow. We do have a chance of rain. However, as we move into the weekend, we're hopefully going to see some more sun, still some clouds, but it should get warmer into next week. So bust out your shorts and get ready for some sun for finals week. So back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Lily. Coming up later tonight, the man accused of killing 5 people in Texas is in custody tonight after a manhunt wrapped up last night.
And a judge is blocking a state's attempt to ban abortion clinics. We'll tell you where.
Be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
La 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 la. Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
Welcome back. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Lily Zent. And right now in Oswego, we are seeing it be mostly cloudy. As you can tell from this picture from Hart, it's dark outside, but we can still see some clouds. And it should be about 43 degrees right now. Moving on, tomorrow it is going to be some spotted showers. We might see more rain tomorrow than we did today, but hopefully as we move into the weekend, things will get sunnier. It is average temperatures for this time of year here in Oswego. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, okay. So, 10-day outlook, looking like nothing. Day planner, so this doesn't seem right. But anyway, so rain, just bring a raincoat with you. You might need it, but you won't need it in a couple days because it'll start to get warmer. So, yes. Anyway, moving into the weekend, it's going to be around high 50s to the 60s, possibly on Sunday. That's a picture of a grill. And so that's it. You guys can see. That's my weather report. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Lily. In national news, a Utah judge blocked the state's ban on abortion clinics a day before it would have taken effect. The judge granted a preliminary injunction in response to a complaint by the Planned Parenthood Association of Utah against the state. The complaint is aimed at a law that bans abortion clinics from operating in the state starting next year, but it does allow abortions to be performed until 18 weeks of pregnancy at a hospital under the law. Utah was scheduled to stop granting licenses for abortion clinics on Tuesday. They still won't do what you tell them unless it's to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Rage Against the Machine is the most rock and roll oriented of the artists that were put on the 2023 class of inductees. They will be joined by art pop singer Kate Bush, singer-songwriter Sheryl Crow, outlaw country legend Willie Nelson, hip-hop innovator Missy Elliott, pop singer George Michael, and R&B vocal group The Spinners. Artists don't have to perform rock to be admitted to the Hall of Fame. They only have to impact and influence the genre. Special awards will also be given to Link Wray, DJ Kool Herc, Shaka Khan, Al Cooper, and Bernie Taupin. The induction ceremony is slated for November 3rd in New York.
The man accused of killing 5 people in Cleveland, Texas last Friday was captured Tuesday night following a days-long manhunt. The suspect was arrested in a house just miles from where the shooting took place, authorities said. Police also arrested other people suspected of helping Francisco Oropesa get away. Gloria Pazmino has the details.
This is an unspeakable murder, unspeakable tragedy, but Mr. Oropesa will be held accountable.
Hiding in a closet underneath some laundry. That's how police say they found Francisco Oropesa, the man accused of killing 5 people, including a 9-year-old child, in Cleveland, Texas last Friday.
He's in this jail right here.
Witnesses say Oropesa opened fire after neighbors asked him to stop shooting his rifle near their home. After refusing, the man charged into his neighbor's home, killing 4 adults and a child. Oropesa, a 38-year-old Mexican national, is being held on 5 counts of murder with bond set at $5 million.
We just want to thank the person who had the courage and bravery to call in the suspect's location.
Police also arrested a woman who lived and shared a child with the suspect. Divimara Lamar Nava was arrested Tuesday and is facing charges of hindering the apprehension and detention of a known felon.
What we believe that Ms. Nava was doing is that she was providing him with material aid and encouragement, food, clothes, and had arranged transport to this house.
A second person was arrested under suspicion of helping Oropesa escape the neighborhood where the shooting took place. The suspects are expected to meet with the judge Wednesday to review charges and the terms of their detention.
I want to be able to look that family in the eyes and say that justice was done at the end of this.
I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
Officials are now considering upgrading the charges against Oropesa to capital murder.
As for international news, an American has died during his climb to Mount Everest. Nepal's tourist department says Jonathan Sugarman's body has been airlifted to the capital of Kathmandu. He died after feeling unwell at Camp 2 on Monday. The U.S. Embassy says it's in contact with his family and local authorities. Sugarman was part of an expedition arranged by Washington State-based International Mountain Guides. He was one of 450 climbers that were issued permits for this spring season's expeditions. It takes nearly 2 weeks to hike the Everest Base Camp, which sits at an altitude of about 17,000 feet. Coming up next on WTOP-10 Nightly News, the latest on a drug reform act just signed in Florida.
And more information about an Alzheimer's drug slowing cognitive decline. Stay tuned to hear more after the break.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen and briefly
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30? Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a closer to that one.
Matthew,
Broadcast news.
look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. Here's your health report. Republican lawmakers in North Carolina have come to a deal of placing restrictions on abortions after 12 weeks of pregnancy. Currently, the state allows abortions up to 20 weeks. The North Carolina House of Representatives will make a final vote on it by tomorrow. Big news for people in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. A new experimental drug has shown promising results in a large clinical trial. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on the clinical trial and when the drug maker plans to seek authorization from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
For the millions of Americans affected by Alzheimer's, the road to battling the disease has been bumpy, but an experimental medication is offering new hope.
It's not a cure. It is not going to be a miracle drug. It is a great first step.
Participants in a large clinical trial receive the medicine donanemab by infusion once a month. The drug maker says it slowed declines in patients' ability to think clearly and perform daily tasks by more than a third. The drug works by removing plaque buildups in the brain known as amyloid that are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease.
They only work at the very early stages of the disease. So if you have mild to moderate Alzheimer's dementia, it's too late.
That's why neurologist Douglas Shari with the Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says we need to build upon this research, stressing that early detection is critical. This latest drug is among a new group showing promise. The FDA granted accelerated approval for another experimental Alzheimer's drug called lecanemab in January. Robert Egge with the Alzheimer's Association says access to these new and upcoming drugs needs to improve.
That's what's the priority right now, is to make sure that these important treatments are available. If a patient and their doctor decide it's right for them, they can be sure that Medicare will have them available.
The drug maker plans to file for FDA approval by the end of June. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
There were some side effects of this drug reported. 3 out of 1,700 patients who took part in the 18-month trial died. Some of those deaths, or 2 of those deaths, were attributed to adverse events such as brain swelling or microhemorrhages. Let's send it over to Logan for the latest in your consumer news.
Thanks, Jolie. Earlier today, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill that his office calls the most comprehensive prescription drug accountability and transparency law in state history. His office says the law empowers consumers, creates transparency in drug price increases, and requires accountability for pharmaceutical middlemen. DeSantis says the new law reforms the practice of charging consumers and health insurance plans for more prescriptions than what they reimburse to the pharmacy. A Labor Department investigation into 3 McDonald's franchises found 305 children worked more hours than legally permitted. One of the franchises employed 2 10-year-olds but did not pay them. One of these 10-year-olds was also allowed to operate a deep fryer, which is prohibited for workers under 16. In a statement, McDonald's said the reports, quote, run afoul of the high expectations we have for the entire McDonald's brand, end quote. Coming up in sports, Alex Brooks.
Alex, what can we look forward to?
Thanks, guys. It is playoff season for both Oswego and around the nation. We'll bring all this right to you on WTOP-10.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a closer with that one.
Matthew,
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real. Welcome back to WTOP-10. I'm Alex Brooks with your Wednesday night sports report, and let's get right to it. Starting off on the turf, the Geneseo Knights defeated the Lakers 15-9. Sela Wiley led the Lakers with 3 goals as she ends her Oswego campaign with 121 goals in her career. The Lakers had a great season led by Wiley and Isabella Lembo as they brought the Lakers to a SUNYAC semifinal berth and a 7-1 home record. Congratulations on a great season for the Lakers. Moving to the men's side of the turf, the Oswego men's lacrosse team had their season come to an end today following a 20-10 loss against the Red Dragons in Cortland. The Lakers jumped to a 7-4 lead in the second when Cortland scored 7 unanswered goals to coast to a 10-point win. Jack Delaney had a career day with 6 goals as Coach Andrew Daly in his first season has a playoff berth. Congrats to the men's lacrosse team. And now we are going to go over to some NBA news. Newly named 2023 MVP Joel Embiid will play against the Boston Celtics up 1-0. The Sixers are coming into this matchup after a close 119-115 victory over the Celtics in Game 1. James Harden was able to score 45 and propel Philly at an advantage. The Celtics were in for a dogfight and will be looking to nod the series at 1 at home before traveling to Philly for Game 3. But we are going to stay with the NBA Finals here in MSG as it's between the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. Fast forward to the fourth quarter, Gabe Vincent driving through the defense and he pulls up money, baby, from 3 as the Heat are up 88-85, 90-87 Miami. Vincent in trouble. Caleb Martin says, I can do that too, buddy, with a 3. Knicks need to respond as Jalen Brunson, he gets that 3 and give me one more. All right, now going up here, Julius Randle throws it over to Brunson. Brunson step back. He's like, this is the Jalen Brunson show. So it's the JB show here in MSG as New York gets the lead with that 3, and Carmelo Anthony is loving it here. We fast forward over Julius Randle trying to get the Knicks up 3, but he throws it over to Josh Hart, and give me that. MSG in New York is rocking. Last shot for Miami. Caleb Martin with a Hail Mary 3. That's not going anywhere. The New York Knicks even it up at 3, and New York winning basketball. Man, it is something.
Definitely is something, Alex. So stick around for some good news right after this.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back for our final story of the night. We want to help you prepare for tomorrow, which is National Orange Juice Day.
Orange juice is the most popular breakfast drink in the U.S.
An 8-ounce serving of it has 124 milligrams of vitamin C and also supplies potassium, thiamine, and folate.
You can share your love of orange juice on social media with the hashtag National Orange Juice Day.
That's our report for tonight. Stay tuned for the break with Scott and Kate.
Thanks for watching, and have a great night, everyone.